coast to coast, it's your hosts, the Lombardi Leap and Mersey FB. This is Beyond the Frozen Tundra.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, the Lombardi Leap, here with Mersey FB. Talk Packers football. Specifically, the Burrow-less Bengals are coming into Lambeau Field after the Packers had a bye week here with what looks like a new quarterback.
Yeah, the Joe Flacco move is interesting because I believe the last game he played. Oh no, he played a game after the Pack, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So he's playing the Pack in like almost like 3 weeks, like twice in 3 weeks almost.
hmm
So
Yeah. And this is it is an interesting move for the Bengals. Like, I kind of feel there may be a coach trying to save his job a little bit. That's the vibe I kind of get.
it does feel very like save your job ish. I'm more scared for Flacco with the Bengals than I am with the Browns
Yeah,
than I was with the Browns. And you know how that turned out.
yeah. I'm not I mean, their offensive line has issues. Hopefully, our defensive line doesn't have issues, but we'll have to see. I haven't seen any
Mm,
updates on Devontae Wyatt today. We're recording this on the 7th. And that is going to be interesting to see how that defensive line shapes up for us and getting pressure to Joe Flacco round two and what I guess you'd call a revenge game for us.
yeah, I hope the defense is treating it as a revenge game.
And the Packers, obviously, bye week before that, tied with the Cowboys. The Bengals, I believe they got bullied by the Lions, right? That's what kind of made them switch.
They did. They lost to the Lions.
Like, I know they had 21 points in the last quarter, but by that point, just
It was kind of done, yeah.
do you feel like this could be another trap game? I know you kind of mentioned a little bit earlier here that Flacco with uh, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins kind of changes the game a little bit here.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think trap game is probably the wrong word. I would say it's a very much like proceed with this is a good indicator of what the team is,
Which direction they're going to go in, up or down?
which direction that they're going in, yeah. It's kind of like you'll see like it'll test the maturity of the team after the recent like trials and tribulations.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think they have to come out fast and, like, realistically, stay fast. Keep that tempo
Yeah.
up. I mean, I know we had kind of
Yeah.
mentioned here Joe Flacco coming in. Joe Burrow goes to IR with turf toe. Like, I heard he's supposed to be back in December.
Won't be back this year. Probably won't be. He'll be back if the Bengals are in it.
Yeah, which
And I don't think they will
no,
be.
I don't think they're going there at all. And then how much overall, like going from Jake Browning to Joe Flacco, better receivers. This it really is going to be interesting to see how a veteran quarterback.
Is Browning hurt?
No, I don't think so.
Or do they just not believe in
I
him?
think he was bad.
Okay. So in my mind, Flacco at this age gives you pretty much the same as Browning, just with a higher like game IQ, I guess.
hmm Exactly.
So that's like I had to have assumed that Browning went down. But
I don't believe so that he went down. It's just they were like, we got to do something here because again, this coach kind of seems like he's got to win a game for his job here moving forward.
mhm.
And I mean, that game against Detroit is really a precursor to what's important for us too. I mean, Detroit dominated the line of scrimmage against Bengals.
Yeah.
They couldn't do anything. They look out of sync mentally and like physically.
So important note on the offense. I would say their offensive line too on paper is better than than the Browns offensive line. So that could inspire Flacco to stay in there a little more. Left to right, or so left tackle Orlando Brown Jr., left guard Dylan Fairchild, center Ted Karras, right guard Dalton Risner, right tackle Amarius Mims.
And I wasn't the biggest fan of Mims coming out. I really kind of liked Dylan Fairchild there a little bit.
Yeah, I was a big Fairchild fan. Mims was good. I think he struggled with speed rushers because he's really heavy-handed, stronger, heavier set guy. Uh, Ted Karras, I don't know much about, truthfully.
One of the worst graded centers right now.
Okay. And I know Dalton Reisner's best days are behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely there's some patchwork here that did not help Joe Burrow.
Orlando Brown Jr. has been solid for like forever, but yeah, hasn't helped Burrow much.
It is going to be interesting to see if Christian Watson kind of does come out this game because that does change the dynamic of the offense a bit, especially the fact that it's at Lambeau Field. You're coming off a loss to the Browns and Joe Flacco, a tie to the Dallas Cowboys 40-40, a bye week, which can be hit or miss for the Packers coming out of bye week at times, it feels like. And then it's kind of exasperated by the fact that Wyatt is injured, knee injury. He's week to week. It's going to be interesting to see who steps up on the defensive line, but there isn't all bad news. The fact that Banks and Zach Tom both continued to practice is going to be a massive boost for this O line and Jordan Love's comfort in the pocket.
Hmm. I think we're gonna need to get a lot of push up front from our interior defensive line without Wyatt. So I'm thinking Carl Brooks will be a big player this game.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like kind of skipping ahead a couple segments here, but
No, you're talking about the D line. So
you,
that's
you
perfect.
yeah, D line. You really want to exploit the interior weakness for the Bengals, and then maybe I like. I mean, it's Micah Parsons, but I like his chances against Amari Smith.
I like his chances against that entire offensive line, to be honest.
That's true.
I mean, Orlando Brown Jr. is still pretty solid, and he's not being lifted up by the guys
Hmm.
around him, given his where he's at in his career. But he's still a good tackle.
He is still a good tackle. And then I think you're going to see too with Joe Flacco, he's not the most mobile gentleman anymore. So you'll see a lot more blitzes and everything.
And who's their running back?
Chase Brown.
I didn't know if he was healthy or not. I could not remember.
They have a trio between Chase Brown, Samaje Perine, and Taj Brooks. Samaje Perine's like their like pass catching back.
What do you kind of feel like is going to be the hardest part for us for our defense?
Hardest part for us for our defense? I'm going to say the short and the middle of the field for us. I think we're going to I think any in-breaking routes to like Jamar, T. Higgins are going to give us trouble. They might be able to get away with a lot between Gesicki and Noah Fant. This is what Noah Fant's like the 5th most targeted player this year.
Is he really? I did not know that. That's crazy. Like they have two big wide receiver tight ends, wide receiver s tight ends in Gesicki and Noah Fant.
They do.
They don't want anybody blocking, I guess.
No, they do not.
And then for our offense, what do you kind of see as being a potential struggle here?
So that's the thing. On paper, the best part of the defense for Cincinnati is by far their linebacking core, in my opinion.
Oren Burks, former Packer.
Yeah. Logan Wilson, great. Demetrius Knight and Barrett Carter. It's the 4 that they rock with. However, I do think that blocking Trey Hendrickson is always a priority. And so if Tom is not healthy, we could get boxed into a situation that what happened with Myles Garrett in the Cleveland game.
Oh, yeah.
Where it felt like they were just trying to stop him completely and the rest of the offense kind of
Forgot about everybody else.
shut down. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like no one in their secondary is super concerning. Like DJ Turner, Shore, Jordan Battle, yeah, like Cam Taylor-Britt, Dax Hill, nobody super.
Yeah, nobody's super threatening. And then former Packer TJ Slayton there is basically kind of running their nose
on
tackle.
The defensive line. Too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see how
Shamar Stewart is questionable heading into this game.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
So, I mean, they have Chris Jenkins Jr. sitting on their bench, but
I mean, we haven't been the greatest at run blocking either.
Mm-mm.
That has been a bit of a struggle for us.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that they are going to get this right. It would nice to see Josh Jacobs to have an easy game because it feels like he is scraping and grinding for every inch of the field there. So, I mean, with Josh Jacobs too, like you have to start fast. Our point differential is only +1 in the second and -12 in the fourth. And I know they talk about keeping their
Hmm.
foot on the gas, but they really don't do that.
They don't. And it's been noticeable throughout every game that they've played.
They don't put
And
bad
this,
teams away.
I've talked about it. Yeah, they don't put teams away, and I've talked about it. It feels like we haven't played a complete game, and I'm hoping that this week will be the first week that we do.
Yeah,
Do we want to have an EPA conversation as well for this?
go for it.
Just to kind of highlight the difference between the
That's
teams?
all you.
Okay. The offense is great in terms of EPA per play. Looking at the tweet that you sent me, or first thing, actually, I'll start with the Bengals. Bengals EPA per play ranks out at 31st. Points per drive, 30th. Success rate, 30th. Explosive play, 32nd. Red zone percentage, 4th. So that's pretty good. And then for defense, their EPA per play is 27th. Points per drive is 26th. Success rate is 29th. Explosive play percentage allowed is 22nd. Red zone percent, 28th. So, and then their overall DVOA is 32nd. The Packers, it feels in terms of EPA, are almost like the opposite of that.
Man, that I mean, minus the 40 points from Dallas, like they have been holding teams.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you had some lapses last against the Cowboys, unfortunately. If you're Halfley, what are you kind of looking at? What are you picking on the most here?
You could do cover one, but then it leaves your outside corners in man, and which would be a little scary this game.
Yeah, Todd.
And so it depends on what the like how good our pass rush is that day, this week. If we're getting home early and often in the pass rush, I would be a lot more comfortable sitting in cover one or cover one man. If we aren't getting home, I'd like to play some like cover two zone concepts where you're sitting on the short, like intermediate routes, kind of. And when you also can defend the long, deep routes that are going to go to Chase and Higgins. But I also might just be boxing myself too much into trying to defend the tight ends. What would you think Halfley should do this week?
I'm Jeff Halfley. Like I don't want to blitz as much. You have Micah Parsons,
That's true.
LVN, Sean Gary. Those guys are healthy. If those guys are healthy, I want them out in the field as much as possible. Like I know they've started experimenting more with LVN playing defensive tackle, and that might start to pick up just due to the fact that Wyatt is questionable.
I don't love that idea, but
How would you blitz? Like, would you send Cooper and Quay more again?
no, like I agree. I agree with like not having to blitz as much, but I don't love the idea of playing Lucas Van Ness as the defensive tackle.
Okay. Why is that?
I just think that early downs, he's kind of gonna get exposed a little bit
Oh yeah.
in the run game.
Yeah.
But I think like on third down, maybe definitely third down and like medium to long, if they do like a Viper package type thing.
I believe they call
Is
it
that
cheetah.
what they call it?
Call it cheetah.
Oh, cheetah, yeah.
Cheetah.
Yeah.
And that's
If they do a cheetah package, I would definitely be fine with moving LVN inside and saying you're the 3 tech now. Just go upfield. So
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
I would avoid blitzing Coop as much as you can,
Mhm.
but I think you could get away with it.
I hope Cooper has a better tackling game. Like I really do.
Yeah.
I know last game, like PFF really liked him, but like that that tackling, I feel like he's missed. We have talked about this.
It felt like it was his worst tackling game
Yeah, absolutely
of his career.
Absolutely.
I think Javon Bullard could have an impact too if they play a lot of stuff close to the line and he's coming downhill making tackles.
Yeah, I feel like they are going to try and do what the Browns did and establish the run early. The difference is that the Browns running back is light years better. John Judkins is a really
True.
good, especially he's a lot better than I think right now, especially over Chase Brown.
Yeah. I mean, Chase Brown's good in his own right too.
Yeah, yeah, he is good.
I saw a crazy stat where he is like minus 40 yard or negative 40 yards behind what he was expected to be at before the first through the first 3 games.
I wonder what Josh Jacobs is.
Yeah, I can't remember what the exact context was, but I remember the graphic. It was a big negative number.
It was, yeah. And I mean, how would you? Let me ask this question: how would you establish the run game against this defense?
I'm running right at Joseph Osai, the other projected starter at defensive end for them, and I'm running right at the left side of that defensive line.
Yeah, that
BJ Hill, TJ Slayton, they're good run stopping defensive tackles, but the edge rushers are, and I think that part of using pre-draft eval on Demetrius Knight, I think that sometimes his lateral quickness wasn't all there. If you can get him kind of missing on blocks or missing on tackles early because he's just taking the wrong lanes, I think that's a good weakness you can exploit too.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to see them do that jet sweep stuff anymore, especially with
No.
Golden. Come on, stop manufacturing touches and just tell Jordan Love to throw him the ball.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna manufacture touches, it should be for Savion Williams.
I think he should be the gadget guy going forward.
Absolutely, kind of like Patterson.
Yeah, Cordero Patterson.
Yeah,
Cordero.
He went from wide receiver to running back, all over the place. Yeah, definitely. I definitely would like to see him do that a little bit more. I know that Bo Melton is technically our backup wide receiver and a backup corner. It seems like they're getting him involved in special teams a little bit more on kick returns.
Okay.
Which I hope that kind of does extend to punt returns because I do want Matthew Golden involved in the offense as much as possible.
Yeah.
How do you think Tucker Kraft?
Ooh, I think this could be another Washington type game for him.
You think so?
I think so. I think he could absolutely annihilate the middle of the field. I mean, Logan Wilson's a pretty good coverage linebacker.
Tucker Kraft is
he's just a different animal.
He is he is one of our most consistent, if not the most consistent target that we do have. I know a lot of people want to talk about the Romeo Doubs 3-touchdown game. Fun little fact, actually. There are 2 people who I've kind of compared him to recently, and one of them was James Jones. The irony of the James Jones comparison is that James Jones' first 3-touchdown game absolutely mirrors what Romeo Doubs did.
Yeah. No, I see that.
Which is crazy. Crazy to think that. And I do think that he's kind of a Romeo Doubs-esque type, or sorry, a James Jones type player. But I'm gonna do a little throwback here. Mohamed Sanu.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like that is one of the best comparisons that I could see because they're both not really yards after catch guys.
No.
Neither of them created great separation. A lot. I believe that Romeo Doubs is system dependent, and
to an extent, yes.
To an extent, yeah. And I do think he's obviously relying on his quarterback, get him the ball. And before people start coming at me, this isn't me saying Romeo Doubs is bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying is that I would really like to get Matthew Golden involved more than the guy who is more of a contested catch guy recently. In that way, that I would much rather have my wide receiver waltz into the end zone versus
then have to make 50-50 catches.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's, Tucker Kraft, I think, ultimately, and Matthew Golden should absolutely torch this defense, considering the fact that there's a lot of not so young guys in the secondary. But it's just a matter of, is Matt LaFleur just going to run a bunch of fake routes for him to draw that coverage? You know,
he might be able to, and then you could see. I highly expect Watson to be inactive this game.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're going to get more Wicks. I don't know. I think it might be a Wicks and Golden show.
Yeah, Wicks coming out of the slot. Golden playing the Z there. Or not the Z, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said that right. Wicks playing the slot,
Yeah.
Golden playing the Z. Those are really the matchups that I would look to, just to, especially in the beginning, you know, get the tempo going, get Love in rhythm, eat up the clock, get down, score, and then just keep doing that, man. Stop letting the
Mm-hmm.
foot off the gas. Like, I know if you want to run the ball, but it's not working, and the passing game is carving them up. I wouldn't care if they passed 80% of the game.
No, I wouldn't either. I feel like that's kind of like how I play like Madden sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Is
yeah, air raid.
just passing 80% of the game, air raid. Yeah, just like Matt LaFleur has a tendency to stick to the game he thinks should be called rather than the game that is happening like in front of him.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so
This gets too
I
conservative
hope, yeah, like early and often too.
at inopportune times.
Yeah, I think he's got to realize what he's got. What like I know he knows what he has with Jordan, but like still, it's like show everybody. Be like, hey, this guy's good, and he can make every throw on the field. So
Yeah, and I know that some people have kind of suggested out there that Matt LaFleur is trying to keep a lid on things until you get the latter half stretch, which I do understand to a point because
Mhm.
I mean a lot of the games out there, I don't see any team where I'm like, yeah, we can't we wouldn't be able to beat them. Like every team is very, very much beatable, clearly. There's no real, I would say, upper elite of the elite for Super Bowl contenders.
Mhm.
I think that if the Packers can continue to dominate and actually consistently dominate, I mean, you get to the playoffs, watch
They'd
out.
be up there. It's just kind of still putting the pieces of the puzzle together
Yeah.
and playing. I feel like in Cleveland too, they're starting to look ahead a little too much. I think we got to start playing one game like we're one game away from like win or go home every week type thing. That's the type of mentality I would have. Be like, hey, don't pay attention to the media. They might like us, but like
We gotta like
we
us.
know we're good. We know we can go against anybody. We gotta prove it. We gotta play with a chip on our shoulder. Like just pretend that they're doubting. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And I know we've kind of talked about some keys here. And before we kind of get into our keys, I
hmm
have a what I call the average Joe's key to the game. This is brought to you by our good friend Joe on the Go.
hmm
And
the little way of getting them included into this.
yeah, yeah. So his first key to the game was control both lines of the scrimmage. And we talked about this the entire time. You got to get after Joe Flacco early and often, as well as with Banks coming back, Zach Tom coming back. You got to keep Jordan Love upright. The second thing, work on establishing the run early. You're going to have to set the tone early, or at least try to set the tone early with Jacobs to keep the offense balance. I I do think our wide receivers can make plays if given the opportunity, but you still like to see Josh Jacobs gash a little bit here. And then the last point here, which you and I have hammered home every single day, every single episode, get Golden the ball. He's flashed. Time to feature him. Coming out of the bye, I'm hoping to see some more targets for him moving forward.
Yeah, I think that he should now be the most important receiver, and I think that Watson coming back will open up more for him.
Absolutely.
There was one thing I was gonna say. Austin. Have you felt that there's been a noticeable lack of under center play action so far?
Yeah.
Like we're not running the same like designed plays as like last year.
Yeah, why do you think that is? Do you think that's a Jordan Love thing? I mean, I'm assuming it's a Matt
I
LaFleur.
think it's because I think it was a mix of Matt LaFleur and Jordan's hand being injured.
Okay.
But I think with Jordan's hand recovering that, they can go back to it, and that'll help open up the offense as well.
You think any of this hinges on how well Elton Jenkins plays?
A lot.
That's kind of my concern as well. We talked about
Mhm.
this last episode.
He's like the second most important player on offense.
Yeah. I mean, especially on the offensive line. And he struggled this
Mhm.
year, so that is going to be interesting to see. how he kind of rebounds from the bye week. If you had to pick two players, one on the offense, one on the defense, who's gonna have a game?
So I'll start with defense first. I'm going to say this would be a game for Devontae Wyatt, but he's hurt. So I don't really love anyone else on the defensive line for that. Rashawn Gary's basic. Maybe with Quay Walker.
That's a good one. I like that pick. I do very much like that pick. I am going to I'm going to pick Xavier McKinney.
Good choice.
I think Xavier McKinney is going to have a good game. I think he's going to actually get I would call a real pick instead of just that gift.
Yeah.
And offense.
Oh, my offensive player who I think is going to do well. I'm going to say Fitzpatrick, our tight end, whose first name I cannot remember right now.
John Fitzpatrick.
It's going to come to me in a minute. John Fitzpatrick. I think he's going to have a good game.
A sleeper pick right there.
Sleeper pick.
I mean, he is tight end too.
I think a lot of attention will be paid towards Tucker Kraft, and that'll leave him open. So, as tight end too, he'll get a lot of like the blocking assignments, and then he can slip out, and they won't pay as much attention to him.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a good pick there. And I'm going with Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs has finally a bounce back week, 95 yards, a touchdown. Actually, I'll say he cracks 100 yards, like just barely.
Okay,
101 or something like that.
Has he cracked 100 yards in a game yet? Like on the ground?
Is he against the Lions?
He has not gone over 100 yards yet. His high this season is 84.
This will be his 100-yard game.
86 against Dallas. Actually, sorry.
This will be his 100-yard game. Now, what do we got for a score here?
I'm going to say this game is closer than you would have liked at 24. No, not 24. Yeah, 24-17.
I think it's still going to look close, but I still say it's going to be 30-17. That's kind of my in-game prediction there. Yeah, I'm excited that we're back home at Lambeau after being gone for basically a month away from home. It'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good to have a good game, and hopefully come next Wednesday, we'll be celebrating another beatdown. We'll be celebrating a beatdown of the Bengals. Well, that's all, folks. Thanks for joining. Until next time.
To Packers fans coast to coast, thanks for going beyond the frozen tundra. We appreciate you tuning in. And as always, go Pack Go!